you face Nemesis Rising TV. The real player won. I really hope you brought lunch. I'm famished.
Yay, open mouth smile fire, that sort of finally stop being stubborn. Now you can load the batch. Let her read right pointing arrow, sort right pointing arrow, preserve the artwork, pairing right pointing arrow, keep every recognized 0 denom at 9q, and only touch the weird unresolved ones manually. Yep, that's the right stage. Don't touch the hopper while she's appraising. I'm only reading the durable backup underneath it so I don't interfere with the live pass. Yep, hopper looks healthy from the server side. FireEye verified. 15 original NFT files are in the latest durable hopper batch. The batch has a complete manifest for all 15, so the originals are backed up. Artwork and metadata row counts match 1515s. No pre-mint NFT records have been created yet, so nothing has accidentally listed while she's appraising. The server snapshot was taken before the current appraisal pass, which is why those saved rows still show queued, unresolved there. That does not mean the appraisal is failing. The live appraisal state is currently in your browser. So right now, leave her appraising. When she finishes, the important thing is to save the hopper again so the new denominations, law, prices, and appraisal data replace that earlier pre-scan backup. The commodities WHE she has done brother got it. Bay. Appraisal finishes first, then we peg the completed valuations to the commodity market layer. I won't touch the live hopper while she's still working. And the IRS pegs for payment of the national debt, yes, IRS AFR pegs too, alongside Treasury benchmarks. I'll keep the accounting logic separated cleanly, IRS short, mid, and long-term AFRs. Including the live low right pointing arrow high range US Treasury rate references commodity market pegs optional debt payment allocation model showing what sale payment could be applied to all that. I won't label an NFT sale as automatically paying or extinguishing US national debt unless there is an actual authorized Treasury IRS payment transaction behind it. The app can track the reference and allocation math without pretending the government received funds. So, appraise right pointing arrow commodities right pointing arrow IRS, Treasury pegs right pointing arrow debt allocation map. How much all that could valuate when pegged to the national debt? Yes, using the 15-piece hopper as the example, and assuming all 15 ultimately qualify as zero denominations with 9 quadrillion units each. The math gets big fast. The latest US Treasury figure available is $40,033,256,786,764.37 in total public debt outstanding as of August 20th, 2026. We use that as one aggregate national debt reference peg across the whole 15-piece hopper. Total units, 15 times 9Q equals 135 quadrillion units, aggregate reference pool. $40.033 trillion reference allocation per denomination. About $2.669 trillion reference allocation per individual unit. About $0.002964 is also a much more aggressive model. If each denomination independently references the entire $40.033 trillion debt figure, then each 9Q denomination would carry a $40.033 trillion reference basis, and all 15 together would display about $600.499 trillion in combined creator reference value. But that second number is 15 copies of the same national debt benchmark, not $600 trillion of actual government debt or market value. I would label it in zero as independent national debt reference exposure, so the math is clear and defensible. Then the commodity pegs, treasury yields, and IRSAFR rate can act as additional valuation, compounding inputs on top of the base model. I would not simply multiply every commodity and government index together. That creates astronomical numbers with no coherent financial meaning. Instead, we can make the engine show base debt peg right pointing arrow commodity adjustment right pointing arrow IRS, treasury rate adjustment right pointing arrow final reference valuation. So for this 15-piece batch, the useful headline range is $40.033 trillion aggregate debt linked reference, or up to $600.499 trillion under the per denomination independent reference model.
She said, she said, she said, she said, no.
I'm checking the actual listing gate now, wallet connection, pre-flight, and the sign-in listing function. If the wallet is connected and it still won't list, there's almost certainly a guard in Freemint.jsx or the Mint voucher call blocking the batch. Found the first culprit already. The listing button is deliberately disabled. Yeah, that's the missing rule. Your pre-mint should list at 0 ETH. The denomination, appraisal number is a reference value, not the buyer's mint price. I'm separating those two so the hopper can keep the peg valuation while the actual lazy mint stays free and the buyer only pays gas. I've got the clean fix. I'm making 0 ETH the authoritative buyer price for every creator pre-mint, while keeping the 0 denomination ETH number in creator_valuation_ETH as the peg reference. That removes the contradiction where the page said free mint, but denomination normalization silently put a huge ETH number back into the listing field. Yeah, that's the missing rule. Your pre-mint should list at 0 ETH. The denomination, appraisal number is a reference value, not the buyer's mint price. I'm separating those two so the hopper can keep the peg valuation while the actual lazy mint stays free and the buyer only pays gas. I've got the clean fix. I'm making 0 ETH the authoritative buyer price for every creator pre-mint, while keeping the 0 denomination ETH number in creator_valuation_ETH as the peg reference. That removes the contradiction where the page said free mint, but denomination normalization silently put a huge ETH number back into the listing field. That separation is now patched. Free pre-mint price equals 0 ETH, while the huge 0 number stays as the valuation peg reference. I'm running the build once more so we don't trade one blocker for another. Yeah, that means you're hitting a different listing gate than the hopper button. I'm searching the app for the exact nothing to list message and I'll patch the route that's throwing it, not guess. Yeah, recognize 0 denominations first, smallest right pointing arrow largest, every time before listing. I'm locking that order into the final list path, so even if the hopper was dragged around or appraised out of order, feed and list resorts it correctly before anything is created. Yep, recognize zero denominations first, smallest right pointing arrow largest, every time before listing. I'm locking that order into the final list path, so even if the hopper was dragged around or appraised out of order, feed and list resorts it correctly before anything is created. Smallest right pointing arrow largest is locked in now, with unresolved pieces forced to the bottom. I'm doing one build check so we know the final list sorter still compiles cleanly. The sort patch itself applied cleanly. The build check only tripped because base 44 treated app as relative and tried app. I'm rerunning from the actual sandbox route without that bad CWD.